All right, so it's a Monday morning. I feel like yeah, boy. Yeah, do that, do that. Welcome back to the wake up call. We got 19 minutes onto the 9 o'clock hour right about now. Wherever you are, however you're listening, good morning and welcome. This morning, we're joined by a special guest, Mr. DEMION MCTAIR. He's the man behind One News St. Vincent. I almost said St. Vincent and the Grenadines, One News, just One News. If you could just pull the mic closer to you.
All right.
Or maybe you could step forward or, bring the chair forward. All right, so welcome. I could say welcome back and I could say welcome in the same breath. First time physically in studio, but second time joining the wake-up call.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. X 103.4. 104.3. 104.3. Yeah. All the X 104.3 fans, good morning to you.
Wait now. Hold on. I just needed to laugh a little bit there, Didn't used to work radio, right?
That was a long time ago. Yeah.
Didn't you speak like him? But you used to work radio. I just heard it there.
Oh, yeah.
That radio voice just came over there. It feels good, huh? You should come back. You don't want to come back to radio?
Nah.
No?
Not at all.
Wrong one.
You remember in college, we used to always make, say, boy, you have a nice voice for radio. Your voice make for radio. Go and do radio.
Really?
Yes.
Maybe that was among the boys
in economics.
Yeah.
I was not in econ
econ.
class. I was not in econ class. I was a science girl. So my only memory of DEMION is him practicing on the lawn.
Okay.
Not gonna.
But you were in law class, weren't you?
I wasn't in law class. I probably should have been, but I wasn't in law class.
Okay.
You probably saw me peeping through the window.
I think at one point everybody used to be in each other class. You just go and pop in and just sit down.
I used to be in psych.
Yeah, just sit down there,
Yeah.
But then college was so close knit, you just thought everybody was because you were seeing everybody every minute.
That's true.
Maybe you hang out in the library. So that's just a little bit of a little backstory there. If you remember DEMION as well from joining us, we were talking about something really interesting at the time. I'm not going to mention it now because we want to focus on something else, right? So Hunter Connor has been making the rounds in St. Vincent and the Grenadines for the past couple of weeks. And every time a post is made, man, it's like exposing somebody, a man, either in a good light or a bad light. So quite a number of men, Hunter has been reaching out to random Vincy men posing as a 13-year-old female. And the kind of conversations that would follow, even after saying, I'm 13, like where you're from, who you're living with, can you video call me? All them kinds of things, like, can we meet up? One of the latest one is Mali. TikTok boss. Grabby Finesse was up in there too. And some other persons. It's an open profile, obviously, for the reason that you want to kind of highlight and show. They're almost operating like the knight in, I don't want to say knight in shining armor, no, that's the wrong word. But like almost like a hero, right? So I want to ask listeners right now, do you think that what Hunter Connor is doing is a good thing or a bad thing? Pretending to be a 13-year-old girl to try to catch Vincentian predators. How do you feel about, like, you've seen a couple, right?
Yeah.
You've read the conversations, right?
Yeah.
Turn on your video, let me see now. You look good though. Like after 2 days, I love you. All them kind of things. Like, how do you feel about it?
The first time I saw it, I was like, whoa. Hey, somebody's actually doing this. And I had mixed feelings about it. I was like, yes, somebody's standing up. But then I was like, I wonder if this is just a prank, like an entertainment kind of thing that they're doing. Because it could be that too,
You think at this point it could be entertainment?
Yeah.
That's a serious level of entertainment,
Like
though.
a publicity stunt kind of thing.
But for what reason? I want to see like the chain of thought behind that.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know, maybe they're mixing fiction and fact in between just to kind of get the page grown, that kind of thing.
And even to go ahead and post people's personal Facebook profiles. That's a serious prank, I find, because
Yeah.
I mean, you are kind of showing people what this individual, this guy, is doing behind closed doors, or talking how he's talking to like young females.
Yeah. But the other thing again, I mean, I don't know, 13 years old. Why would I mean? Should he even be on Facebook at 13?
I mean, that is debatable, but it happens. There are some young people who are on social media. Sometimes the parents don't even know.
Yeah. And then I'm not blaming the victim either. But then 13, why are you approaching big men?
It happens though.
Should it happen?
It happens. I feel like it's a good
What could be in the
thing.
head of a 13-year-old girl to approach an adult male on Facebook too? And then what could be in the head of an adult male to
Okay.
accept
Okay.
advances from a 13-year-old girl?
Okay then, and want a video call, link up. You want this, you want that. I could take care of you. Let us meet up physically.
I mean-
Why is it so
I mean-
easy that they're being caught though?
I mean, 13, that's like a baby, eh? 13, 12, 13,
Mm-hmm.
14. That's like Form 1, 2, 3.
Form 1, 2,
Yeah, that's-
11. Yeah, exactly. Form 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that's unthinkable. 13. Wow.
Man, you'll be surprised. I mean, like, we may not like to either admit or hear it, and it's a very sensitive topic, and we understand that. But
I wonder if it's something broader in the society that all of this is really exposing. I remember hearing one time, well, Lord, should I say this on? Well, I think we know it anyway. After 12 is lunch. You ever heard that phrase?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So I'm wondering.
yeah.
Is
That
this-
was from an entertainment page on
Right.
YouTube.
So all of this is it really exposing something deeper in our society that hey, maybe we have a problem with pedophilia in our society?
It's sadder. It's sad because the more you see it, the more I believe that it is a serious problem. And almost every day you get new posts from Hunter
Yeah.
with somebody who is accepting advances from a 13-year-old. And you have to ask the question, right? Why would you, once you hear 13, all right, goodbye, have a good life, tata. Like,
Yeah.
why is it so comfortable?
Yeah, I mean 13, go to your mama. You know? You go read a book. You you should be
Come
on
off of
Facebook.
social media.
Yeah. 13. That's scary.
I am scary as joke, and that's just for, in this case here, somebody who's posing as a 13-year-old, trying to catch or trying to lure in existing.
Yeah.
It's not like you is it like a first time or anything, but existing. And even if it's your first time taking on the advance, your mindset though, your mentality, like why do you even think first off that is acceptable? That's really scary.
I'm wondering too if some of the people that have been, caught, or maybe they came around to knowing some of this already, but they're just playing devil's advocate too. She's not having that.
They even know.
She's not having
Let me
that,
tell you
man.
why. Let me tell you why that would be quite a foolish thing to do. Your conversation, they're gonna screenshot the conversation. They're gonna post that on their page. Everybody is gonna see that. You're gonna risk your reputation just to play along? Nah, sir. Is either you ain't
Because
that smart.
I think it's public knowledge by now that somebody's doing this. So
Yeah,
if there's anybody getting caught with this, you're either highly, really, I don't want to say it, it's a D word, but
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Or something else. Or you're an actual.
yeah,
Or you're an actual hold on, let me
Pedo.
just. Yeah.
yeah.
I hope, right? Oh boy, this ain't really panning out too well here. Okay, great. I'm hoping like the authorities are actually looking into something like this.
Yeah.
My next question is, right? Do you think that it's a good move that the ordinary Vincentian has taken the issue of sexual offenses, whether it's on minors or adults, right, into their own hands. Do you think that's a good move?
Why I think is that it could be a double-edged sword. What if somebody creates a fake account in somebody else's name, right? This person approaches this person's fake account thinking it's the real person, and somebody's behind it trying to frame the person. And then your whole reputation gets tarnished, like that. So it could be a risky thing, because people could go to those lengths,
How long would you have to sit down in a corner and wait for your fake profile to be approached?
Now he mentioned that. I was studying something, right? I mean, teens, right? Teens, women and moms each other as teens, right? You have a little puppy love, right? So suppose you make a profile now with let me say a 13-year-old and you have a 13-year-old messaging the same profile.
That could happen.
How would that work out?
That
Wait.
could happen.
Wait. I missed that one day.
Okay. If we have two 13-year-olds, okay, like how Hunter had the two playing as a 13-year-old, right? So what's another 13-year-old message page?
Message. Oh, you mean the person who is?
Yes. How is that going to work out?
I don't know. We will never know because the two of them, they're just there.
It could be really messed up. So that's why I'm saying it could be a double-edged sword. But at the same time, I mean, I think people have had to take these types of drastic measures because enough is probably not, being done to protect, children.
Enough? Nothing.
Uh,
No, there's nothing. There's nothing in there.
Everything is moving at snail pace. And I think people are frustrated. People are really frustrated by what has been happening. And the fact that you can catch so many men. So what else? So is it going to get... I mean, this is just a page, right? And this is just somebody who is trying to highlight the issue and trying to take matters in their own hands. But what if it turns violent at some point? Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Morning, sir. How are you? Welcome.
Thank you. I just realized you all are speaking on a very, very touchy subject there. And I had to make my presence felt. Because I am so aware, I'm so sensitive where sex is concerned in our country, where people in high places have made themselves, so open in terms of having sex with minors and all of that. It's not surprising to me. Not surprising at all. Now you're looking for answers as to why this has been happening. We made history, I would say, or we made it big on what you call it, what's the name of there was some published report a few years ago now, Weston, Vincent and the Grenadines were very high, almost at the top of the ladder when it comes to rape and all that sort of thing. I myself have been puzzled as to how young girls have been so bold. I have had people making advances at me who I never thought would make advances at me. And I speak like this because I speak what I experience, I speak what I see. But some of us love to cover up things or pretend we don't know what's going on. And I'm wondering, because I think with the internet, since the coming on stream of the internet, there has been a surge or all these complaints, or you're hearing all these wonderful, I should say, or dreadful stories about how our young girls have been taken advantage of and offering themselves. I know young girls have been offering up themselves. So we have to look, we have to really look and see if we can make a difference where this thing has come from, where did it all start. But I think since the internet has come on stream, our young people, they are the ones, the generation that is living this reality. And hence the reason why you hear big men, names being called with all these minors and
Stick up in there. Stick up in there. I'm trying to understand what you're saying about the internet and social media. Are you saying that the problem got worse or the problem started? I'm trying to understand.
It got worse. It got worse. I mean, there were incidents of there were those incidents that we heard of before. I mean, I don't want to repeat some of these things that I am aware of that would have made the news or would have happened. You'd have heard about and so on.
All right.
But, because right in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, I remember there was a well-publicized story about a girl having how much? Over a dozen men in sex. That made the headlines I can't remember how much years ago now. I could identify the place and so on, but I wouldn't do that.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Wish you all luck.
Thank you so much. What he said there about social media, I'm kind of going to disagree with it. Social media, made it worse. I don't think so. I feel as though it exposed what already existed. It was just an avenue because, maybe could have contributed to like social ills, but I just feel like it just exposed, and right now we're just exposing, and you will feel shocked because you're now hearing. But
Well, I want to agree with you, but I still think that, all this TikToking online, your child is talking. Facebook, Snapchat. I don't think these things have really made it better. But at the same time, maybe you're correct. Maybe it's really just exposing what's happening in the society.
so if my teenage daughter or even son is on social media, which is another thing that we could look at, why is he or she attracting, or not necessarily attracting? Why do adults feel it is right to reach out just because?
Would it be the same if the page targeted women who prey on younger guys?
How many in that exists here?
Yeah, well,
Or maybe they have tried and
but if you realize it's only men.
men. Okay, so Hunter, they say you must go look for woman too.
And honestly, to me, Hunter sound like a man behind it. Hunter Connor. I just thinking maybe I could be wrong.
I agree with you, man. I listen.
But it sound like a male behind it.
Is that a problem?
Exposing. I'm not saying it's a problem, but I'm just wondering.
What else can we do? Like as the ordinary Vincentian, instead of waiting on the government to pass this legislation and do this, that, and terror and just beg and cuss. What else can we do? What's within our power?
So when the legislation pass, they go in straight after whoever.
But the other thing again, I I really didn't want to raise this to kind of scope creep, but the age of consent, what's that in this country? What's
15.
the age of 15? My Jesus. Well, how could a 15-year-old give consent to sex? You can't vote. You can't do anything legal. You can't drink legally. But you could have sex legally. I don't get that.
And
So
you can have a
if
child.
the age of consent is 15, Lord help me, Jesus. Is it really surprising that at 13 some of these children are already thinking in a particular way? Then you have the influence of the media, the sexualizing of our children in the media landscape. This whole thing is a mess. We just need a reset.
Yeah.
I think.
The LGBTQ ain't making it easier either.
Well,
Because they say they could choose from small.
oh my God.
Like, you know the thing again.
Can of worms open.
Mhm.
Can of worms open. So maybe we could, but then to change the age of consent or to bring about some sort of change, that's kind of beyond our capabilities. We have to, even though we could talk about it, we could match about it, we could apply pressure, but then they still have to make the changes. They still have to go to parliament. They still have to sit down, and I don't know why it's just taking forever. 15, as you said, you can't vote. At 15, you have a child at 16. You can't even get any NIS from that because you can't walk legally.
Yeah, you can't drink legally. You can't do anything like it, but you can have sex. That's something that I don't get it. I know there must be reasons. Like I know in countries that are underpopulated is the right word. I know sometimes but I mean this is the enlightened time 2022. Come on.
You know another thing about this age of consent thing?
You know, that's a good point. You know, raise it.
No, but give some sort of incentive to the adults.
Yeah.
If you have 2 children, you get $50,000 for the whole year or something like that. Just out some money. You know something with that age of consent at 15? A 15-year-old is in high school, female, right? Let's look at the hypocrisy here. Now, she gets pregnant. She's still in school. She's kicked out of school because she gets pregnant. Now, after the child is born, she has to run around and beg back to get into a second school to finish her education. But the guy stays in school if it is another guy. The second point is, if it is the age of consent, why are you kicking her out of school for legally getting pregnant at 15? There are some girls who are older than others. So maybe she was 15 in Form 4. So she cannot get her subjects because legally she had sex, consensual sex, and got pregnant. That's not making any sense to me.
Oh boy. I don't know.
Is it? I think I asked this question before. Is it legal sex with an adult or legal sex with another?
Well, in that scenario that I drew there, I mentioned the other guy, the boy, is in secondary school.
Right. So it's only legal amongst.
Well, it's consensual sex. She's 15. It's legal.
And that is messed up.
Legal.
You listen to how you know explain it, and that is really messed up.
Yeah.
That is really, really messed up.
But that is the state of affairs. And then there's the sex offenders list that people have been talking about from time to time. Is that something that should be worked on, that we should push for, that could help the situation? Could it help? Could it hurt? That's another argument that we could have. You better pray like some people just don't do some vigilante stuff. No.
I think I was actually trying to avoid that. But I think that sex offender list, that will open a can of worms. Because you're going to meet people, you're going to see people on that list. It's like, what? He's involved in them stuff.
Exactly. So why you get yourself involved in them things in the first place?
I really hope they don't limit it to the regular man. Because I
maybe that's why they're avoiding it.
But my thing too, I don't know. Maybe I'm a conspiracy theorist. But if you have a list like that, you have to make sure that it must be a stringent process to get a name on that list. In that, nobody should make the list and then you hear, oh, it's false alarm, and then you have to be taken off because that's somebody's whole life work, their reputation that you're talking about. You know. So there must be due diligence. There must be evidence without.
It must be physical evidence.
Yes. You know, with
like convicted.
with no doubt.
Convicted.
Yes.
Go to the court, convicted.
Yes.
All right. Hello, good morning. Last call and we're going out.
Hello, good morning. Good morning. I reached in late. They had me doing some work this morning, so I couldn't engage earlier.
Okay,
But I'm all for the sex offenders list. I'm all for the age of consent review. But my question is, are any of those things going to change the frequency of rape in our country?
You don't think
Because
it'll
we have
act
a
as a
rape culture.
deterrent? If my name go and get
you are
jacked
okay.
up on a list as a predator, an offender.
Let me see how this hunter kind of thing gonna be a deterrent, because as of right now I consider that a sex offender a sex offenders registry because people don't know whose name I call based off the conversation. I ain't going to say evidence because some of those things could be fabricated and put people's picture on certain things, which I don't say it is, but that could be a defense of somebody. But if you look at the reaction to people, some people happy it happening and some people say, oh, them are engaged people in them. We need to have a mental shift. And first of all, we need to admit we have rape culture. Years now, I say we have a rape culture in St. Vincent. Some people cut me say, me not love St. Vincent. Me tell all you something. Second to my wife and daughter, St. Vincent is the most loved place in my heart. Hence why me have to call and talk so much about St. Vincent. But we have to change the culture. And we have to get offended when somebody say after 10 is break and after 12 is lunch. One time I did that and somebody tell a radio host they should hang up on me because I pulling on his country when I see the man from Trinidad who they say what you know, what you can, what you don't know. Ask a man in 10 minutes and the Grenadines. And I was shamed to be from 10 minutes in that moment and people fight me down and say I wrong. But until we as a country don't accept those kind of things and start from young and show boys that they have to value themselves and show girls that they also have to value themselves too. Because when you have police who allegedly had a girl held up because she witnessed a murder and the girl said they raped her, we ever happened to that case there? I remember that case there? How many cases that we've heard of rape? All of us did the drop off the edge of the world, like when Christopher Columbus used to sail and the world had an edge. All of us did the drop off at the edge of the world.
I don't think they drop off the edge. But
we ain't hearing nothing about them.
They're going through the court, man. You hear it when it ends.
Well, something as crucial as rape should be at the forefront of our judicial system. Remember, we told the United Nations Security Council we're going to increase safety for women and children. And rape is at the forefront of safety for women. We're telling the United Nations Security Council something, but in reality, we're not doing nothing because obviously our actions are showing that we don't care.
Okay.
When you have an old man down back way, rape somebody, got convicted of rape and them send him home because they think too old to go back, he's too old to go jail. What they doing to that victim every time she wake up and go buy some fish, she have to see the man who violate her innocence? We have to do better than that, man. It's a lot of things, but it's not a one-time fix thing. It takes a mental shift. And people like you, Crystal, and your extreme team, I'm very grateful for all of it because the mental shift starts here. So by the time your son, Crystal, become a man, things should be better. So we have to continue to push there. So
please, God.
And pat ourselves on the back for that.
All right.
No, we have to continue. We have to continue that because it didn't take 2 days to get us here. It takes decades of conditioning to get us where we are. So it's going to take decades of conditioning to take us out of the hole that we're in. And it's not an isolated issue to St. Vincent either. It's a global phenomenon. That rape culture is plaguing the place, but we have to take a mental shift. You know what I'm saying? But big up Hunter Connor for exposing them people to Jed. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is.
All right. Thank you.
Big up ourselves.
Yeah, man. You too, man. Big up yourself. All right. Good one. And with that, we're going to take a pause. We have some responses. We'll share those when we come back.